When is it too old to have a baby? A study has found that the number of women choosing to have children after their 40th birthday has shot up by nearly 300% since 1992. Lots of celebrities, male and female, are being older parents. Elton John, Michael Douglas, Sarah Jessica Parker, and some female ones as well have all had their children in their 40s, 50s and beyond. But does that make it right? Our reporter Justin Dealey has been asking you, how old is too old to have a baby?
Rachel, you're 29.
Yeah.
How many children have you got?
I have 3 children.
And when was your first? How old were you?
I was 21 when I had my first child.
So when do you think a lady is too old to have a baby?
I'd say about 45, maybe even 40, because you need to do things with your children. I mean, you need to be fit enough, you need to be active enough to do things.
Let me ask you this finally. If you knew somebody in their mid-50s and they said to you, Sarah, I'm thinking about having another child, what would you say to them?
I think they're mad. I think they're crazy, because I think there was a time to do that.
And would you actually say that to them?
In your 20s and your 30s. Yeah, I would. I'm quite an honest person, so yeah, I would.
OK, madam, who's here today then?
Bonnie, who's 10 months, and Isabel, 4.
When do you think you are too old to have a child?
About 40.
Can you tell us why?
I think, young mums are more agile to get around and things like that. And I'm a young mum and I feel it's better for me to have children younger. And I think maybe when you hit 40, it might be a bit late.
Sarah, you're 39.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, how many children have you got?
I've got 4 children. 1 more on the way, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Busy girl.
Very busy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when do you think you're too old to have a child?
I don't think you're never too old to have a child. I think as long as you feel fit and healthy, then fair play, you should do it.
Let's just say you can have a baby at the age of 60. Would you want to do it?
I don't know about 60 because you've got to think about school runs and stuff. So I don't know about 60, but I think 40 is still all right. Yeah.
Well, that was Justin Dealey speaking to people on the street. Dr. Mike Ingram is a practising GP from Radlett in Hertfordshire. Earlier on this show, he told us about the pros and cons of having children at an older age.
Every few years, the advances in care of pregnant women go on, and the care that pregnant women get technically and scientifically is so much better that pregnancy gets safer and safer. So that's the positive news. But as you get older, there are greater problems in getting pregnant, and that's the problem. There's a few things to think about. One is physical age. I mean, we all feel our age as the
Oh man, I'm feeling it this morning, Doctor. I'm really feeling it today.
Well, I bet you do. And then, if you think how you were 5 years ago and how you are now, and then put on the added burden of pregnancy, not just the physical aspect of carrying a baby around, the draining energy that people sometimes feel when they're pregnant, but just the physical aspects of coping with labour. Our muscles weaken, we know that, so labour can be more complicated.
Well, I'm joined now by Lisa Pearson, a 43-year-old mum from St Albans. She writes the Mummy Whisperer blog. Morning, Lisa.
Hello, Ian.
Lisa, how old were you when you had your kids?
I was 36 with my son and then 40 with my daughter, and that was a lot tougher.
In what way? How was it tougher?
Well, the body, it's really tired. It's a really big difference, 40.
Was it, you're talking about the whole pregnancy, the labour, everything?
Oh, no, actually the labour was easier, but that's because I was at home and that was much easier.
Yes.
But yes, afterwards, having a little baby, having a toddler, being old, being tired. And I work really hard on trying to be fit and healthy. I really do, because my parents were older and they weren't healthy. And I'm very passionate about this. I really am. I understand people having children older, but you have to, if you're going to do it, you really have to then work on your health. It's selfish otherwise.
Can I ask, how old were your parents when they had you?
My mum was 43, so that would probably make my dad about 46.
Right.
I think.
And did you, as you were growing up, did you notice that they were perhaps older than your friends' parents?
Massively, because they didn't introduce me to people with children, because at that time there weren't lots of people who had children at their age. So I didn't really meet children until I went to school. But also, I was a young carer. My parents were also quite ill, and I was caring for them from about 5 years onwards. And that's not ideal. And although they were sporty, they went into fitness, which is a very different thing, to be fit and healthy. And so they got iller and iller. And so you're taking your O-levels, and you're also nursing your parents. You know.
Do you not worry about that for your kids? Because none of us know what's around the corner for us health wise. Do you not worry that the same thing? And I know you're making an effort to stay fit, but the same thing could happen to you and affect your children.
I do, and ironically, I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain condition, and I am very aware of it. But I do my best. You know, I'm always moving. It's about moving and staying flexible in your core fitness, and my nutrition is good. I'm trying my best. I'm much healthier than my parents were at this age, and I plan to stalk them as when they have grandchildren and be there playing with their grandchildren. You know,
good
I
for
really
you.
do. Whereas my parents aren't.
Were you worried when you were having your second child at 43? Were you worried about the possible health risks for the child?
I was more shocked because at 19 I was told I couldn't have children.
Oh.
So to fall pregnant at 36, and then they said, "But you won't have any more." To fall pregnant again at 40 was a bit, oh, okay.
And did it concern you? Did you think, oh, blimey, this, you know, because the risks do increase, and the risks are smaller than they were maybe 10 years ago, but the health risks do increase for the child the older you get, don't they?
No, I think yes, but I had brilliant care. I really did. I mean, and Hertfordshire, of course, is really used to older parents, so they were really, really good with me. It was more that I was worried about seeing my grandchildren. That was the thing that I really worried about. You know, neither of my parents have met my children, and it's hard. And they notice it. They know. I've actually met a little old lady who I found in Tesco's who comes and looks after my children sometimes when I'm working at home. So I'm literally paying for a grandmother because children need that.
Yeah.
They really do. It's really important.
Sorry, you met her in Tesco's?
Yes.
Well, you just bumped into an old woman and said, oh, look, we need a grandma. Are you free? Can you help out?
Well, I actually put a little sign up saying I wanted the mother's help or whatever, but that's where she came from. She came from Tesco. She's fabulous. She's 75.
Wonderful. Well, I've got my own, of course, adopted nanny Eileen for this show, so I can understand exactly what you're saying. It's slightly different, isn't it, for dads? It's kind of more socially acceptable for older dads. But it does worry me when you hear about people like Des O'Connor having a kid at 72. That's not fair on the child, is it?
No, it's not. My dad died when I was 20. I never had an adult relationship with him. And I don't want to make anybody feel guilty if they happen to be ill or whatever. Just make sure that you find someone who's going to look after your child and be like a guardian for them. You know, but really, no, it would have been nice to have had parents. Because parents are the only people who can listen to all your moans constantly, who can be there for you whatever you do, and who care about the minutiae of your life, you know?
You're in touch with a number of mums via your blog, The Mummy Whisperer. What are they saying about older parents?
I was really surprised. They were definitely talking about 40 being the age that you should start to worry about it.
Right.
I thought they would say more like late 40s. But no, most of them, they did say, you know, it depends on your health. But, and they did say they appreciated the difficulties and the mums are having them later. But they were saying that 40, there is a real difference with your body at 40. And people who don't have children won't know that because it is much tougher.
Lisa, can I ask you a bit of parenting advice just to go off on a slight tangent? You said you've got a boy, haven't you?
Yes, 7.
I'm going to use medical language here. Was he, when he was younger, was he obsessed with his willy? I've got two. I've got two boys, 3 and 1, and they're just obsessed with it. And now that the youngest one is pulling down his nappy to get it out, the oldest one. All right, can I say this? Yes, I will. For goodness sakes, the oldest one was trying to do a puppet show with his. Is there? I know. You sort of. The thing is, I can't tell him off because I don't want him to be in therapy in 30 years' time. So I kind of go, oh yeah, that's very nice. Anyway, should we carry on reading this book? Was your boy like that at all?
Yes, yeah. And what I would say is you're exactly right. The most important thing is to not make them feel guilty, not make them feel any kind of shame or anything like that. But when they get a bit older and they understand the difference between private and public...
Oh, yeah, I've tried that. yeah.
It depends on the age. As they get older, you just explain, you know, there's a difference between private and public.
We've stopped the oldest doing it in public now, or when we have guests around. So I guess that's some development. So you wouldn't recommend, I don't know, putting mustard or something on it?
No.
No, I wouldn't do that. Okay. Lisa, what's the link for your website so people can go and have a look?
It's mummywhispererblog.com.
Excellent stuff, Lisa. Thank you very much indeed. Lisa Pearson, a mum from St Albans, 43-year-old mum. Well, what do you reckon? I'm sorry to make it so medical at this time in the morning, but this problem really is... He was doing a puppet show with it. I know. What do? I couldn't laugh. I found it hilarious. He was doing the voices and everything. Anyway, so let's pull back from that.